All right, folks. Now, my next guest first bought Nvidia in 2019 for its clients, and it's right now, I think, still the firm's largest position. I want to bring in now Landsberg, Bennett, Private Wealth Management CIO, Michael Landsberg. And, Michael, so I just had this chart up, and last year, this is the reason not to own Nvidia, because Nvidia has money, and they gave money to CoreWeave, which gave money to Intel. Oracle has a lot of money, of course. Who's going to pay Microsoft? OpenAI, they keep raising money. In other words, it's this circular thing. I feel like John Madden right now, and it's just like it just reads red flag. That's what it reads for a lot of people. Why do you still own the stock?
And part of it is the red flag may be around that, because I think there's concerns about OpenAI. Where's the money going to come from?
Right.
I really like it, Nvidia, to the 1849 gold rush, and they're selling picks and shovels. Didn't really matter who found gold in California. The guys and the girls selling picks and shovels made a lot of money.
But is the picks and shovel phase over? Because once everyone bought a pick and everyone bought a shovel, that was it, right? It feels like they've moved on to, hey, we found some gold, now we need to know where to store it.
I'm not sure if they've been able to sell all the picks and shovels. Every time you see a hyperscaler say, I'd buy more, I'd buy more. So I think we're still in that environment. I think the hardest thing is going to be, like Angelo talked about, who's going to be able to execute? Right. I'm not worried about NVIDIA's execution. They're selling, they have more demand than they have supply. The other folks have to figure out, are we going to be put out of business because AI is going to be smarter than our employees?
So since 2019, you've owned it, the stock has done well, and it's had these periods, right, where it's been tested, and it's been tested. So here, I mean, it's really basing. It's not under a lot of pressure per se, but what gets it to break out, and when it does, do you have a target on the upside?
We don't usually use targets. What ends up happening is our belief is this is going to work until it doesn't work. We do rebalance. So environments, for example, like 22 where it got hit, we're adding to it in 22, but we've been trimming the last couple of years. I think realistically, when we get more visibility around who's going to make money, because that's the biggest thing. The only people making money in this really are NVIDIA. The other companies are looking at, well, we're going to make money. NVIDIA's making money. I think what happens is when more people make money, NVIDIA goes up and continues to go up. But the earnings are growing, they're just decelerating a bit.
All right, so let's talk about beyond picks and shovels, the AI ecosystem. Obviously, huge money being spent on data centers, power generation, and HVAC. Are there some specific HVAC plays out there?
Yeah, there's a few. So what we look at, we think most people are over-concentrated in AI. They only own the chips.
Right.
They only own NVIDIA.
Right.
They're not owning any of the other folks. Our largest holding, for example, in this space is Comfort Systems. We've owned for a long time. Fix has been a great name. It's rallied so much. But again, it's a name that continues to do well, and we think that will continue to do well.
Yeah.
Power generation, obviously, there's a power problem. Whether it's going to be a nuclear exposure, you have to have that. I think when people look at AI as a theme, it can't be just chips. It needs to be the rest of this ecosystem to be able to round it out. Don't own utilities that are only AI utilities and call that utility exposure. It's just a different AI exposure.
This brought it out the conversation here. There's some lingering issues, tariff confusion after the Supreme Court, 122, who knows? Iran tensions, concentration, investors, you already alluded to this. To what degree, though, is this stopping you from, going through and investing in the market? None of these things are stopping you yet, are they?
Yeah. The tariff confusion, we're going to have that. We had that last April. Everybody over-exaggerated what the effect was going to be. I think you might be back in the Supreme Court 150 days from now with this Rule 122. Iran, I'm watching because I see the price of oil moving higher. Oil moving higher is what happened with Russia. So we start to look at that. You want to have exposure. And investor concentration, we talked about it. A lot of people have a lot of money in a few names.
We've got a minute to talk about three picks here. Citizens, a lot of people like Citizens. Full disclosure, they bought the company I have my mortgage with. I hate them. Okay, I hate them. I hate them. They send me a letter every day about the mortgage. What? I just paid you yesterday. I'm like, who took this over? The Gambinos? I mean, what the hell's going on here? Maybe that's why it's a good stock. I want to, this one name really fascinates me. I had to look it up. Fast Retailing, Japanese company. Uniqlo. Yeah, my son hit me to that a few years ago.
Think about it. Biggest tennis stars in the world, the GOATs. Djokovic used to be a Uniqlo, then it was Federer. They're growing rapidly, 30% growth all over the world. It's a business. We think Japan's a good spot to be investing. Most investors are US-centric. They need to have some overseas stuff. This is a good retailer with growth and a lower price point.
Right. By the way, radio listeners, FRCOY is the symbol there. 30 seconds on EQT.
EQ2, the United States is the axe in natural gas. 17 years in a row, we produce more natural gas than anybody else in the world. This is one of the largest dry gas natural gas producers. We're the best place in the world to have natural gas. Most people think of energy just oil. they need to be looking at nat gas because that's going to be our cheaper way to be able to control where we are. And we do have so much more.
Right.
We don't have a lot of oil when we look at the rest of the world. We do have a lot of nat gas.
Right, and nat gas has been acting great.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you.